US President Joe Biden recently concluded his first Middle East trip. The trip has taken place at a critical juncture given the energy prices and booming inflation. The trip had a special significance given the historical statement where he told to make the kingdom a pariah. Biden said during the Democratic debates leading to presidential election in 2019 that I would make it very clear that we were not going, in fact, sell any more weapons to them. Biden said we were going to, in fact, make them pay the price and make them, in fact, the pariah that they are. This is history now, as in recent efforts to reach OPEC for increasing production given the high energy price crisis consuming the world at the moment, which has not resulted in the desired result for President Biden. It was clear right from the start that US President position was not of strength as he has low approval ratings and increasing voices against him within party. His health and speaking mishaps are also under scrutiny. Given the midterms in US, it is also not a good idea for him to let US citizens to drive to the polling booth with a gasoline in tank that is $4 to $5 a gallon. In the last couple of decades, there have been three major producers of hydrocarbons: Saudi Arabia, Russia, and USA. Now, Russia has shot his foot with the Ukraine invasion, and USA has killed a critical portion of their production with convoluted policies. The rig count in US is still nearly 30% lower than what it was pre-COVID in 2018-19. In short, the one avenue of production that they have the best control is not explored. Political parties can blame each other and industry for it. The truth is far simpler. The tech industry is in rout at this time, and energy is one of the best players when it comes for risk reward based investment at a given moment. And yet, it has failed to create investments at the level where it can make an impact. So, Biden was left only with one option, and that is OPEC. Now, let's see what could have been a strategic success for Biden during his Middle East trip. An immediate announcement by Saudi for significant gain and assurance to US that OPEC will work actively to ease the prices by increasing production, and some sort of joint working statement or collaboration statement. Saudi Arabia is producing 10.2 million barrel a day. Their maximum extended capacity that can be pushed is around 13 million barrel a day as they stated in May 2022 and in a recent statement. Now, rarely the maximum production is reached due to various shocks, and if it happens, it will happen over a period of next few years. Now, they cannot do any increase without OPEC plus agreement. Now, in the coming August 3 meeting, a proposal to increase quota will be presented most likely, and countries that can push production for now will try to negotiate for themselves. Countries that don't have capacity are likely to oppose the increase, which includes most likely Russia as well. At the end of the day, it's between MBS and Putin and their relationship now how much oil OPEC plus add in this meeting, and will be a clear signal from Saudi Arabia about its access with USA and Russia. Now with Russia, Saudi can get weapons as well. They can also counterbalance US when needed, as in last year since Biden has come as a president. But with US, they can get weapons, leverage in Middle East, and more market share from Russia should they choose to. Also, with Russia's ongoing visit to Iran, Saudi Arabia would like to ensure that their relationship with Russia stays important to counterbalance Russia's relationship with Iran. So, Saudi will be very tactical when it will come to deal with Russia in the upcoming OPEC meeting, which includes increasing quotas. So, what did Biden achieve from this trip? The first, Biden's fist bump with MBS has turned into a PR nightmare for him, especially within his own party base. This will likely increase in the coming days. Washington Post publisher and CEO Fred Ryan said in a statement the fist bump between President Biden and Mohammed bin Salman was worse than a handshake. It was shameful. It projected a level of intimacy and comfort that delivers to MBBS the unwarranted redemption he has been desperately seeking. The president insisted that he confronted MBS on the incident. The WSJ article quoted otherwise. It says there were conflicting accounts of how tough Biden was during hours of close meetings, with the Saudis suggesting that Biden did not directly confront MBS over Khashoggi's death, while the US president insisted that he did. Now, this is what MBS covered on the trip in the same tone.
First, the fist bump, now the fallout. President Biden en route home to the U.S. after his most consequential and controversial foreign visit since taking office. The president returns home touting a Saudi commitment to pump more oil to relieve high gas prices in the U.S. But it remains unclear when Americans will see that relief, with OPEC not set to meet again until next month.
CNN was also not different in its tone either while covering the incident.
But the president is also being sharply criticized for this moment, this controversial meeting with the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and that fist bump. Biden is under fire for that moment when he greeted the Crown Prince, who is accused of being behind the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi.
Biden also drew criticism from his party and supporter, and this is what Senator Bernie Sanders said on CNN.
No, I don't think so. You have a leader of that country who was involved in the murder of a Washington Post journalist. I don't think that that type of government should be rewarded with a visit by the President of the United States.
Now, just to put it in perspective, these are the news outlets that are allies to his party and helped him earlier during the campaign by suppressing the Hunter Biden laptop story. Given how powerful and influential media is in US, it's not an easy position when your own side starts asking questions. You all can imagine the coverage of the same incident by Fox and Rupert Murdoch cartel of media. So he lost a lot of goodwill and provided additional fodder for news medias to attack him. Now, Saudi Arabia has been strategic with USA, especially as US policies take extreme changes with every president change. Since Biden went himself to Saudi Arabia, they will not totally disappoint him. But will they do peanuts or do they agree to do a 2 million barrel plus in a short duration? That is to be seen. Also, given the midterm election in sight, OPEC Plus and Saudi also have a strategic angle. Whether they can trust Dems for a long time or Republicans are better for them. If energy crisis persists, Dems has more to lose than Republicans most likely. During the trip, Biden has also promised to stay engaged and active in Middle East, which is a sharp contrast to his previous statement of making kingdom a pariah. Clearly a reset in the foreign policy from his side, but in a softer way to avoid criticism from his own party. So in short, no immediate and firm promises from Saudi Arabia. Last but not least, the overall word mix-ups, his frail health, body language also provided poor visual strength example at a time when world needs a strong free world leaders and optics really matters. I can only imagine how much preparation and orchestration would have gone in the background of this trip. The oil prices are still high and the fist bump ended on all major news outlets on front page. So he neither found the short-term solution for energy nor able to stick with his statement of making kingdom a pariah. As someone who has been in political scene for so long, making a statement like that in past for a strategic ally was always a risk and in this case it came to bite him back. What Biden could have done. See, the optics of his meeting with MBS were always going to look bad. So he could have first avoided by putting him in a situation where he so desperately needed OPEC support for oil. He could have better communicated this even before the trip that he is going to meet MBS and list out the topics he's going to discuss. Also, he's going to meet him as a diplomatic ally with appropriate decorum will be on display. Should have engaged his own party members better. Should have given a small statement or video interview on CNN or NBC on what to expect during the trip. He left too many surprises and that didn't work for him. He didn't set an agenda and success criteria on how to judge the success of this trip and what are the tactical options to be followed broadly based on the output. It was a poor trip overall, and the only option left for him for immediate action is to work on US oil production in near term if he is looking for any respite in oil prices before midterm election. Biden brand as a politician is damaged now and probably beyond repair. This was probably one chance to deliver some short-term success and relief either by securing oil supplies or by taking a hard stand. None happened. The key point everyone missing in administration is that we are in the middle of the energy transition. The word is transition. That is, it will happen over a time period. And this is what everyone agrees in Paris Climate Pledge and COP26. However, politicians agreed to turn it into a voting bonanza and to project it as a job creation tool has led to some questionable policies. The biggest risk to energy transition is the politicians claiming to own it, as it's turning more a tool for power than meaningful change. At this time, the crisis is only worsening, and Joe Biden has missed a critical juncture in his political career. A mistake he is unlikely to recover before midterm election, but that is up to US citizens to decide. That's all from my side. Please be advised that the purpose of this video is to educate and teach tools on how to deploy strategic thinking on business and investment problems in an outside-in manner. All contents are presented for education, information, and entertainment purpose only, and no portion of this content should be used as financial advice. Please do share your feedback in comment section, and if you enjoy the content, do like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.